Hello and welcome to the video. In this video I'd like to talk about Lua scripts. Now recently I asked in a video what you'd like to see in 2018 and quite a few people replied that Lua scripts is something they needed to know a little bit more about. So in this video I'm going to cover it, not in super duper depth but enough to give you the information you need to go and do the bits and pieces that you need with your OpenTX radio. Now, Lua script sounds really complicated and a little bit like black magic, but it's actually pretty straightforward stuff. A Lua script is just a little program written in the Lua programming language that's been around for ages, and OpenTX has supported Lua in one way or another for quite a long time. In fact, if you have a Taranis radio and you've created a model and used the model wizard, which is the one that brings up these nice little 4 pictures, you choose the kind of model you want and answer the questions, that's actually a Lua script. So Lua scripts aren't anything new in OpenTX, but the big change was in OpenTX 2.2. And in OpenTX 2.2, the doors were flung wide open along with the bidirectional telemetry to do some really cool stuff with Lua scripts. One of the things you have to be a little bit careful of with Lua scripts though is they are radio specific, and that's more to do with the screens and displays on each of the different radios that run OpenTX 2.2 or later than anything else. So for example, the Taranis X9D and X9D Plus radio that I have an entire series on here has a nice big screen. It's capable of displaying model images and also capable of displaying multiple grayscales too, which is why you can do things like the images and why things like the Lua script to calibrate the S6R FrSky receivers that do things like auto stabilization and stuff I'll talk about in a second. All that stuff can be done graphically and very prettily too. If you're on something like a QX7 or an X7S radio, the smaller brother of it, then unfortunately that display can only display black and white, so there's no grayscale possible at all. And that means that displaying things graphically is a little bit tricky on that radio, so the Lua script has to do things using written text rather than images to describe what's going on. And then you have things like the Horus, which is a beautiful color screen, things like the X10. You can't just copy a Lua script from one radio to the other because it probably won't work. And in fact, the Crossfire Lua script that's just been made available for the X7S radios had that problem. It was working fine, but they had to spend a bit of time resizing all of the pieces so it fit into the smaller screen, and also used plain black and plain white bits on the display rather than any grayscale for anything they were doing as well. So what can you do with modern Lua scripts on OpenTX 2.2 or later? And the answer is pretty much anything you want. There are people out there, people like RC DIY and others, that are actually creating Lua scripts to do things like lap timing and all kind of wacky stuff as well. But there are lots and lots of ones available to help you configure and set up your bits and pieces for your radio control quadcopter or Model 2. Now the first one we'll talk about is the S6R and the S8R. I've looked at these in the past. I'm just about to make another video on these as well. Looks like the firmware's finally been gold released, so it's now final. So it's worthwhile doing a video on. Every time I got close to doing a video before they changed the firmware and the Lua script too, so there was no point in doing it. Now the S6R, there's a couple of scripts available for that allows you to do the calibration and the setup on the radio and do some quite funky stuff. There's also Lua scripts that allows you to change and set up things like your PIDs over on your Betaflight flight controller as well. And again, that's using that wonderful bi-directional link in the telemetry to go and access the Betaflight flight controller remotely and change things on the fly. Very handy too. There's things like the Crossfire setup bits and pieces as well. Now the Crossfire Lua scripts are available now in all of the downloads. I'll show you where to get them in a second, but once they're on the radio you can run them, and in there you can set up how you want your Crossfire to work. You can go through all the binding pieces with it, update firmware, loads of different stuff in there too. And the last one I'll mention is one that we looked at a while ago as part of the Pixhook 2.1 series. Now this is probably the most sophisticated version of a Lua script that I've yet seen, and this was the flight deck. And what this is accepting all of the Mavlink data that's coming down from the flight controller over the radio system and displaying it as like a mini heads-up display actually on the radio itself. So if you had a problem, your FPV bits and pieces weren't particularly happy, or you don't want to be running Mission Planner alongside a Pixhook system, you can set the radio up and you can buy this system from Flight Deck, pop the Lua script onto your radio, and they have all the information about the battery height, distance, waypoint information, horizon information, all that jazz directly on the screen. Very clever stuff indeed. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about where you get these things from. Now, most of them, the basic ones anyway, for things like the Crossfire and the SXR setup, are standard things that are part of the SD card image that you'll be downloading now. Now, I'll put a link in the description if you want to go and have a look at these. If you haven't got these scripts, you can just download this file and copy them onto the SD card in your radio, and then you can run them later on. There are a couple of ways that you can run the Lua scripts once you've got them onto your radio. There's the basic way, which is what you do: long press the menu button, press the page until you find the SD card contents, navigate down to the directory where you've put the Lua script, highlight the Lua script you're interested in, and long press enter and select execute, and the Lua script should burst into life. There's a couple of other cute tricks too. You can actually add Lua scripts into telemetry screens. So on the radio, go into the telemetry setup, and rather than setting up voltages, bars, graphs, and all those kind of other things, you can actually select a Lua script to run as one of the screens. So as you tab through, it'll start automatically, which is nice and cute. The other way you can do it is you can actually add it to a switch. So just like anything else, go into special functions, pick the switch you're interested in, and then select the script run option and give it the name of the script that you're interested in. So there's lots of different ways to do the script activation too. If you're flying around and maybe you're refining the PIDs in something like Betaflight, then you might want that on the switch so you can land the quad very quickly, change and tweak the little bit that you're interested in if you're not doing it through the on-screen display, and then fly again and just see if you've got it closer to where you want it to be. So hopefully that helps those of you that are a little bit confused about Lua scripts. Lua scripts isn't anything new. It's been around in OpenTX for a very long time. OpenTX 2.2 or later is what you really want for all the latest and greatest stuff that's out now. Lua scripts can do pretty much anything, but they are radio specific. The basic ones for the SXR based series receivers and also the Crossfire stuff now is available in the SD card contents that you can either download at the address that I showed, or you can download it within Companion directly, or they're available as scripts from the third parties that you're buying the technology for, and you just copy them onto the SD card. And I'd recommend, if you're not familiar with computers, I'd actually take the SD card out the back of the radio, pop it in an SD card reader in your computer, and copy them into a relevant directory. And then you can run them from there, either discreetly through the menu, by adding them into a telemetry screen, or by adding them onto a switch. If you found that video useful or like the content, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to go the extra step, you can become a Patreon of the Painless 360 channel and help provide support for what I do here. All the videos created here are put into playlists, so if you're interested in a particular topic, have a look at the playlist, and they all are organised in there to make them easier to use. If you're not sure if there's a video for your particular problem or topic you want to know more about, then add Painless 360 to the Google search term that you're interested in, and that should find the video, article or content about the particular thing that you're interested in having a look at.